Okay, if you are looking for a more affordable, no subscription smart ring that you don't have to pay extra to get gold for, I think you will like this one made by Ultrahuman. So they sent it to me and I'm here to share everything you need to know when you're deciding between which smart ring and whether you even need a smart ring at all. I do highly recommend getting their sizing kit because it's going to help you get a perfect fit, which is important because the sensor on there needs to have a snug fit, and like in the summer or when it's hot, your fingers get a little bit bigger, and then when you're cold, they get a little bit smaller. They recommend you put it on your index finger or your middle or your ring finger, either of the three, but they recommend your index. I prefer my middle finger, and so far, I've had it for a few weeks now. I have had no issues with the sensor being inaccurate. So I would say if you're like me and you prefer it on the middle finger, you're probably safe to do that. But what you do with the sizing kit is you wear them for 2 days, like 2 nights, just to make sure it is a good, snug fit. Now, I have the weird sensory issues. I don't like things too tight. And you see, I have like a tiny bit of space in mine, and that has been okay, which I am absolutely relieved. So my first impression when I started wearing the ring was that it was way lighter than I expected. I was really, really worried about it being too bulky and too heavy. Even my wedding ring, I'm very minimalist when it comes to jewelry. I can only wear my wedding ring. That actually took me a while to get used to because, as you can see, it's pretty big. My first impression was like, oh, thank goodness it is light. Actually, if you look on their website, there are comparisons between the different smart rings, and theirs is the lightest. Okay, so it's slightly, it's a smart ring. It's not like a super ultra minimalist thin ring, but it's really easy to get used to. The only thing I would say is, like, when I'm putting lotion on and I go to do this, I prefer to take it off when I put lotion on. Like, that's the only thing I've noticed, but I haven't had an issue with it sliding around. You see, I usually like get my hands wet to take it off if I'm swollen, otherwise just a little twist. But when I mentioned the sensor, that's what I mean. You see how it has like that little flat spot right there? That is the sensor that provides all the input for the data and the metrics. So it comes in a package like this. It's really easy to set up. So they have you charge it. It comes with the charging base, which you just plug into the charging port, and you set it on here to charge. And they have it charged for 30 minutes, and then you just download their free app. Then it immediately pops up as long as you have Bluetooth on. You pair the ring and it immediately starts tracking everything. So it's really cool. Like, the app, and I will show screenshots of the app here, is so intuitive. Like, you don't have to be a science nerd to interpret what they're telling you, but they measure so many different health metrics. The ones I look at the most are like my temperature, my heart rate, and then there's a whole section on recovery where there's multiple different metrics under recovery. And so that's looking at like your whole body system. Like, are you ready to go? Sleep. It tracks so much about sleep, how many times you toss and turn, how many sleep cycles you go through. It gives you like a score for the day, which is so nice. It also tracks your stress level. It tracks your heart rate. It tracks your heart rate variability. And then with all of those things, you don't have to do the interpretation. The app actually gives you a recommendation based on your data. So for example, like, it just happened to me today where it was like, needs attention because your temperature is over 1 degree higher than your baseline or normal. And so then it just like gave some recommendations with that. It's like, maybe you have inflammation, maybe you're fighting off an illness, maybe you haven't had enough rest. And so that was really helpful for me. Like, am I coming down with something? Do I need to be doing less? Do I need to eat healthier? Have I had too many inflammatory foods? So I thought that was really cool. So I have multiple friends who have the more expensive ring that you need to pay the subscription for, and they are actually ordering this one because that $10 a month adds up really fast. So if you have that for a few years, you could have already bought yourself the ring. Now, they have a bunch of different color options, which are in the sizing kit I can show you here. And they just came out with rose gold. You do have to pay slightly more for the rose gold, but it's really pretty. So I would say if you are into the idea of getting a smart ring, I would first of all recommend, like, if you're concerned about your health, it's a really good idea. They also have like different widgets you can add to the app. So like if you're kind of worried about your screen time or your vitamin D levels or your stress level, there's also free ovulation or cycle tracking. Some of the other ones you have to actually pay for a separate add-in for cycle tracking. This tracks my cycle. It tells me what day I'm on, and then within like your cycle phase, it tells you based on the last day of your last period what phase you're in, which has implications for your health as well, that was another reason that it sold me, because I was really bad at tracking it, and it does it for you. Oh, it also tracks your oxygen sat, like how much % oxygen is in your blood, which is super nice. So anyway, I would say if you are looking to get a smart ring and you want one that is lightweight, you don't have to pay a subscription for, has literally all the same health metrics that the others do, comes from a reputable company. They've been around for over 2 years now. It's 2025. And the customer service is amazing. If you go read reviews or look at videos like this, everyone is consistently saying the same thing. The only thing I've heard people say is that the battery life is not as great. However, I charge mine like when I'm in the shower, or if I know I'm gonna be like sitting around, I'll just pop it on the charger, and I've never had it die yet, ever. We were just on a vacation up several hours away for 3 days, and it didn't die. And we were like in a no Wi-Fi zone. So I haven't had any issues with battery life yet. Customer service has been amazing. It hasn't scratched or tarnished. It's really lightweight, really easy to interpret the data, no subscription. So I hope that helps.